gosh, it's been so long.
Yeah, it has been a long time.
You can hear us, right?
I mean, the mic's going.
But that doesn't mean they can hear us.
Well, we'll figure it out eventually. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful paint stream featuring Scott.
So far, it's wonderful so far. It may not be wonderful as time goes on.
It depends on how well you paint tonight, I believe.
Don't put it on that.
Yep.
I'm going to have a crisis now, thank you.
But I'm excited to get started tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bosco in the chat. Good, he does hear us.
Good.
Yep. Looks like there might be kind of a significant delay. But we'll see.
Always. It's like 5 or 10 seconds.
But I think... You want to just get into it?
Sure. I'll switch over to the can.
Yeah, so what we're painting tonight is something very special. You might recognize it. It's a little different than typical, but it is very cool, I think. I love it.
I think it's pretty cool.
I tried to get you to print this once before, and it failed pretty bad.
Really badly.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And I kind of didn't need it after a bit, just because plans kind of shifted around.
Much like a displacer beast.
Much like, yeah, exactly.
Hold on.
Oh, jeez. But now the time has come again, and the displacer beast need is high.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Well, and if you go back to it real quick, if you notice, this one has a saddle.
Ooh.
And there's a reason for it, because we've got a cool, I don't know what lizard folk? Or
he's a gnoll, actually.
A gnoll.
Yep.
Yeah, a cool gnoll guy. So this is his standing up fighting pose, and then there's a riding pose, and I have added magnets so they just together.
Where is the displacer beast and the rider? They're right here. Nothing. It's the second time I've done that Lord of the Rings quote to you. Right. And you both times have been...
I don't remember that quote at all.
That's because it's in a part where you probably aren't paying too much attention to what Theoden's actually saying. Because he's getting armored up at Helm's Deep for the final charge. But during it, there's a lot of other stuff going on in the background. Or, they're panning over shots of, warriors in battle. And the one kid getting... Actually, no, that's a different montage. The kid getting the helmet is a different montage. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in that scene. So I do not fault you for that. What is that you have over there? Is that a bird feeder that you're dipping in right now?
Oh,
for the audience at home?
No.
It's just. Am I just confusing you tonight?
No, it's like a paint. Well, the ultimate paint cup or whatever, and so it's got holders so you can drip down a drip tray, and then it's got the little nubbies inside to clean your brush off.
Cool.
Yeah, I picked that up the other day. I've been wanting one for a while.
Definitely doesn't look sus at all.
Definitely a birdhouse.
Yes. Bosco, displacer beasts normally are medium, I believe. I'll need to look up the stack block to be sure.
And thank you. I love magnets, actually. I've magnetized more of them.
Yes.
Yeah, so pretty much. So this is Artisan Guild. They do a lot of. Every set comes with a boss, and the boss does. They always have the beast, with and without the saddle and stuff, or platform or whatever. And then they give you the boss standing on their own base as well. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. You can go ahead and pull stuff on them.
Actually, their later sets have been doing a full cavalry unit as well.
Oh, nice.
Which is where this barbarian one is from. It's one of their cavalry units rather than a hero unit.
Awesome.
D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond. Yes, so that's 2 riders. Do you want to show them the third that we have? Might as well just show the third.
It's not done.
I mean, yeah, it's not primered yet, for sure.
Yeah. But...
What is the... It's a large monstrosity?
Yeah, but it's this guy. Oh, I just broke his sword off.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's just his hand. Yeah, so...
It's a cool, nightmare...
Creepy
skeletal
nightmare
horse.
Which I have the actual horse somewhere in my brain. So here's the unsaddled one.
Nice.
The unsaddled one that sounds
The
like
unsaddled
something, yeah.
one.
And then it's got this guy for the top of it. And I still got to poke a hole in his butt on here and give him magnets. I've been waiting for some small magnets to come in.
And I'm very excited to use these figures in an upcoming game.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm full on announcing that you will see these in an area at some point.
Well, I better do a good job then.
You better. Yep, Displacer Beasts are large monstrosities. That specific Displacer Beast is huge, yeah, but they are large.
But this one's also a dire Displacer Beast. Look
exactly,
at the spines.
with the spines.
Yeah.
Your dog is already barking,
I
of
know.
course.
Will you...
I will see if I can
see
get
if Casey will let
top
him
men on it.
He starts as soon as we start the stream. He's like, "Oh, you guys are doing stuff? Suckers." Yeah, right.
Not Shepherd, Shep.
Shepherd needs to go out. Shepherd Book.
Yep.
So I didn't pick his name,
You
but
just adapted it.
But I adapted it. Yeah, it was one of those. That's what the breeder named him, and I was like, oh, I kind of like that. And then I'm like, but it's not nerdy enough for me.
Yeah.
And I went, wait a minute, I love Firefly, and so I went, oh, Shepherd Book, cool, I can do that.
Oh.
Ooh, I can see his toe beans on this.
Oh, he got toe beans? Are you going to make him pink?
I'll probably make him pink. Yeah.
You mess with the beans, you get the means.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of really good figures right in front of me here that we are going to be potentially seeing in combat. Like that old lady, or one of these. One of these. This is
that old lady who
it just looks like a regular horse. Actually, it's not a regular horse. It's a nightmare.
Is that old lady who I think it is?
That depends. Do you think it is Lunera?
No.
No, okay, because it's not Lunera.
No, I know what Aneria looks like. I have a figure.
That's true. Yep, you do
already.
Yep. No, that is who you might think it is, because the last time you met her, you did attack her against all reason.
Well, let's be fair. I didn't attack
True.
her. Most of us didn't attack her.
Yeah, one of you attacked her. Yes.
And then we all defended that one.
Exactly.
We are a team.
Nightmares are the natural enemy of day stallions.
Nightmares versus what? Pegasus or unicorns? Which one?
No, day stallion. Nightmare, day stallion.
That was a good one.
That's rare. That's rare. You are out of it tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
It was a long night last night.
It was.
I think we played until
2.
Yeah, we played until like 1, up until 2. The last 15 minutes of the recording were crap.
Well,
technical crap.
We lost our primary audio, but good thing we have a lot of backup audio.
Yep.
Because we've done this before and lost it. And it was
Exactly.
not fun, so.
But it was a lot of fun last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun.
It was pure chaos.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I can't wait for everybody to see it. Next week, we've already got our episode ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
So
already,
we got
already uploaded.
Yep.
Waiting to release.
And tomorrow I get to play my druid again, which is nice.
Yeah, a little audio action.
A little Audi action.
Audio action.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. It has been a really...
I'm very excited.
Heck-cited.
I heard hick-cited, which to me is like when you're a hick and you're excited about something.
Like when you see your cousin for the first time at the
at the Georgia family reunion. I'm very excited.
Yep. Got the dad jokes in lock tonight.
Dang,
indeed.
Dang. She's got most of her teeth.
Oh my. We live in with country family. We're allowed to do this.
That makes it sound like that's a common thing in our family.
I mean, half
know.
of our family.
Well, no, I meant the. Never mind. I meant the.
Oh,
I meant the incest, but that's definitely
not
common.
Definitely not. Wonderful. I really hope that we got a couple people that were like, "Oh, I should check out this weird live stream," and then right when they log in,
when I say that,
yeah, right when you say say that specific phrase. No, we've got. There's been so much good stuff going on. We played Pathfinder for the first time a couple weeks ago, second edition, which was really fun. I want to keep playing it if we can find the time. It's my sister, cousin, brother, wife.
I put a lot of prep into the first
Oh yeah.
section of the thing that we're doing, so I'm okay playing for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Because I got a good like 3 or 4 sessions worth of stuff done. I painted what did I say, 16 figures.
Yeah.
16 figures in 3.5 hours.
It was
insane.
an insane pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my hand was cramped up into like a big like claw afterwards, but I got it all done because I was panicking, and it was the night of the game.
And I loved how it was hemming and hawing on like actually getting to it, and not being very excited about it.
Yeah, I was so
and then
nervous about it.
The day before you start actually getting into the module, and you're like, oh, this is actually really cool. There's a lot of really good stuff here, and I'm kicking myself for not reading it earlier.
Yeah, I panicked. Oh, and then I handled it.
Yep. Never cross the streams. I mean, sometimes cross the streams. Yeah. I'm completely okay trying other systems. I've had a lot of fun with other systems. I know you didn't like Traveler. I still like Traveler.
I think I could give Traveler another try.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would just, I don't know. It might have just been my character that I picked or something.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, like you need to have the right character for the campaign, obviously, or else it's always going to be, a little lackluster, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and part of that was we were not really informed of how character creation was done at the beginning, and so we all kind of went directions we thought would be cool, and ended up not being cool.
I thought Bosco was talking about playing other systems when he was referring to crossing the streams.
Mm-hmm.
That was about the other thing that we were talking about before that.
Oh, the thing.
The cousin thing. So yes, do not cross the streams.
You've never peed next to your cousin in a lake? You can cross those streams.
That's when you know you grew up country, or at least a little bit.
A little bit.
That and our general meh attitude towards horses.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have so many friends that are like, you grew up with horses? That's so cool. And I'm like, it's not. It's really not. They're big, they're stupid, dumb animals. And they are not. They're fun the first few times, and then after that, they're just a chore.
Yep.
It's like, I don't care about horses. And there's so many people that are like, I don't want horses so bad. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah, I definitely did not become a horse girl.
Yep. Or horse guy.
Oh, a non-binary horse person.
Horse person.
Yep.
Horse adjacent.
Because we never got one of those black stallions that we had to break in.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that would have done it.
We just had high-strung racehorses, which are basically just as bad.
Yeah, they...
And again, it was just, anytime it was, oh, come help out with the horse, it wasn't, let's just go ride them. It was, hey, let's
come do some chores, and then you're too tired afterwards to really do anything else. Yeah.
Screw that.
Sailor Sagittarius, a magical horse girl. You know me.
Yes, I do. I live with you, and I have known you for your whole life.
And so you know that I have a very particular soft spot for quadrupedal fantasy races.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like centaurs.
Yep.
And
Initars,
really, yes. And particularly like female centaurs are really awesome, especially when they play into like the muscle bound ones. Like, I think that's so cool to be like, oh yeah, they're just like a bunch of bodybuilders with extra legs, you know.
that do extra squats because of the extra legs.
Exactly, yeah. Can a horse do squats?
Yeah, have you ever seen them like bend down and
yeah, I mean, I
down and
know that they can like bend down, but a squat is like legs kind of planted in a different way than normal, right?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Horses are weird. Like, some animals, there's these weird traits where they're like, oh, if they stop moving, they die. Or, you know, if a horse, like, lays down for too long, you know, their intestines will twist and they'll die, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm just saying, like, there are weird stuff like that make me go, huh, nature, you suck.
Yep, nature is really bad at making things.
Nature is really good at just being like, hey, you know what? It works good enough.
Yep, it works enough, and they're liking it, so that's what we're going to go with.
Oh, they're surviving? Cool, we'll just stay there.
Muscle girls are awesome. Centaurs, orcs, Goliaths, all are badass indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I will always go for a good muscle girl, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a Reddit called Muscle Girl Art that I really like. There's so much good art there.
There's some good art for it, for sure. But going back to my point about quadrupedal races,
yes.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the release from, what is his name? Balthazar or something like that? Hang on, I'm going to pull it up on your computer from my chat. Because I sent you this, basically this set.
The 3D set?
Yeah, the 3D model set.
With the drow stuff?
No, not the drought. It was the ones today.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you actually saw it.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Yeah.
I said nice.
I didn't know if that was to that or if it was to the thing above where I was talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
I didn't see that at all.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a second here. Belkazar is his name.
Belkazar, okay.
Yeah. And his release this week for 3D printing is called The Cult of Fertility. And it's all like dryad. They're called servitors technically because they're like deer folk on the bottom and then like elf folk on the top, but they're Warcraft 3 dryads.
Yeah,
basically. And I'm probably gonna get this set actually because I think they're really cool.
I'm all for you buying more 3D models so I can print them.
Mm-hmm. Did you happen to see Artisans Guild this time?
Isn't the Goblins this time?
No, sorry. So not this month, but next month.
Oh, the preview.
Yeah, the preview. So it's a half ogre, half orc clan in like Mongol style gear.
Oh, good, because they do a lot of like the Oni stuff, and Oni's cool if you're. The problem with it for me is you have to be doing a very specific like campaign.
Yeah.
For that style.
Yep. And then their big boss monster that comes with it that they do every now and then that they've been doing recently.
Yeah.
Is a gargantuan base-sized bear. Ooh. Standing on its hind legs, and it comes in a regular version and then a battle damage version with a bunch of arrows and shit sticking out of it.
Nice.
And it's so cool. I'm instantly going to add this to the list as soon as we have it because I want that one printed. Literally got mad at the Encanto dolls because my daughter loves the muscle girl, Luisa, and she's hard as hell to find around me, but you can find like 3 different of Isabella.
So, funny story, Disney put all their eggs in the Isabella basket. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh yeah, she's going to be the one that all the girls want. And when the movie came out, everyone was like, oh no, we want Luisa. Like absolutely, that's the one we want.
Yep.
And I think Disney was like, wait, what?
They had to scramble to make Halloween costumes, you know.
Because they were like, oh, everyone's going to want the pretty girl. And it's like, no. Everyone wants a girl that is not traditional because not everyone is shaped like Luisa. In fact, very few people are, you know.
Yeah.
Like, the majority of the world is not shaped like that. Believe me, they're more shaped like me.
Yeah, Bosco, you need to go check out Artisan Guild. They have a YouTube channel that shows you their monthly release previews. And they always do like modular units of like foot soldiers and archers, right? Typically, for whatever creature or creature type they're doing. Orcs, ogres. Mm-hmm. They actually haven't done an ogre set, which is sad because nobody ever votes for it. Then they do a hero. They usually do 2 heroes, actually. They do like a melee hero and a spellcaster hero.
Yeah, that's true.
They have a cavalry set, which comes with mounts, which this time it's just like more wolves, you know, kind of like stone wolves.
But the cool thing is like a lot of their stuff is pretty modular. So
yeah.
So like every single set that they make, all the hands are modular. So you have to print the hands separate and the weapons separate, but they can all transfer to each other. So every set, the hand, like the ball socket for the wrist is the exact same across
Mhm.
multiple, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because if it's like, man, I really want to play, this wooden Alfar, the wooden elf, but I want like a stone axe,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, there's none in the set, but there are
In the
dozens of
dwarf
other
set,
sets.
yeah.
Exactly.
And then they typically do like, or they've been starting to do like a big boss. A couple times ago it was like a big clay golem with a bunch of runes carved into it, which was really cool. And then they always do a pinup. Actually, they do a pinup character. Do you have any of the pinups around?
Back there,
I'll go grab one.
top shelf.
Top shelf. Oh yeah, I see it.
Don't knock over my awesome beholder.
Let's see, which one. This is my favorite because we are talking about muscle curls, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they always do like a pinup character, and in fact, let's just put this on the paint cam because that's the one that we're going to be able to see it the best on. And the pinup character is always just a it's a man and wife team, right?
Yeah.
And then she designs the pinup pretty much. Yeah. So it's really cool. They always have really cool versions of everything, and that's one of their first ones actually.
Yeah, this is like second or third.
Yep.
The first one was like there's like a dwarf woman sitting on a
barrel.
barrel, and there's some pretty cool ones.
One of the ones you have back there is an illithid woman on a tentacle, which is funny.
Yep. So I was kind of surprised when they did that because a lot of the other creators that have like pinup style stuff, they don't shy. Every set, the pinup is always just human or elf.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Occasionally a dwarf. And these guys are like, no, lizards.
Yep.
And then they give you like multiple options, like, hey, do you
want snitties? Do you not want snitties?
Yeah. Does your lizard have boobs or does it not have
Yep.
boobs? It doesn't matter in your world because you can print both.
110% chance my fiance would buy all the pinups. Yeah, like they are good. Like holy crap, they are amazing. But go check them out on their YouTube channel. This is not like a sponsor or cross promotion or anything. I just think they're really cool.
I wish. Oh man, we could get them to make some sick stuff.
Yep, but they post their monthly release on there that shows off their entire set that they're coming out with. I'm still mad at Hero Forge for not letting me make a bear folk. Chubby barrel-chested bears are the best bears. Agreed. Like bear folk need to be added to.
Don't they have the head? They just don't have. They don't have a lot of different body types. That's the problem.
I don't think they have the head actually.
I know that a lot of the issue that I have with them is I want to have body types like that too, where someone is maybe got a huge beer gut or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really do that because it's too hard for them, I think, to sorry, my brain is focused on paint.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what are you doing talking?
Yeah, it's too hard for them to adjust all the armor and gear and stuff.
Yeah.
When you have totally different.
And that's fair.
Yeah, it is, and they're slowly getting better.
Yeah.
As time goes on, they're getting better and better poses and things like that.
Yeah, Bosco says they do have the head. There is the bear head. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's just the bodies don't really.
You know what I'm pissed about? They got rid of their Octofolk. That's what they called it. Because of wizards.
Yeah.
Which is stupid because no one owns Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm. No one owns Cthulhuids.
Yeah. That's all they could have said is these are just Octofolk, not Illithids.
Yep. I think Artisan Guild calls them the depth ones.
Deep ones.
No, depth.
Depth ones?
Yep. Like they full on go depth ones.
Yeah.
Because they like to add their own little like name spin because they do have their own lore and stuff technically for their world.
Every one of their sets has a bunch of lore.
Mm-hmm. Do they do stat blocks? I don't think they do stat blocks.
No, they don't. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think it needs stat blocks.
Now, like someone like Comet Lord, where they do a bunch of crazy creatures
Boss
that you've never
monsters,
seen before, aberrations and things like that, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna need stats.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't know how to play this character. I don't know how to
yeah.
play the creature.
Mm-hmm. Although I do love looking at a creature and going, what can I do with this? How can I make?
How can I terrorize my players?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay, yeah.
I saw they had their release date trailer come out today.
Oh, cool.
Not today. Maybe today. IGN had it posted today. August 31st of this year. So just about the end of the third quarter.
Cool. And by the time it actually comes out, everyone will have already played it.
I really hope that now that they have an announcement date, they shut down the beta and they're like, okay, everything else will be ready, to go. But
Yeah.
I doubt it. But during that trailer, the first voice that you hear is freaking J.K. Simmons.
Oh,
he is one of the characters.
Is he a character or a villain?
He's a villain. Judging by the trailer, he's going to be playing a villain, which is
he's playing
really
Omni-Man.
fun. I'd rather not play that D&D game where I have to fight Omni-Man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, because you all lose in the first round. Our first game, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Moscow City is going to post in the group later a pic that he did a while ago of a Bearfolk psionic warrior. To give an idea of the bear he was talking about. He's actually a descendant of a Bearfolk I played back in 3.5. Nice. I love bringing in legacy characters. I think legacy characters are great for long-standing groups. And
yeah.
I'm very excited if we get to that point,
Yeah.
Yeah, I say if, just because you never know what can happen. Because I thought my last group was going to get to that point, and we moved on to other games, and before.
Well, again, part of that was you and I got really tired of DMing everything, and everyone wanted to be at their houses.
Yeah.
Right. And so we were hauling around all of our gear and all of our minis and all of our maps and all of our tools, everything. And it just became such a slog. And it was like, okay, fine. If you guys want to play at your house, you're running a game. And so everyone was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, and then everybody wanted to run their own system.
Try something else, yeah.
But I did like playing other systems. It's just that you can't really play a legacy game if you're not playing the same D&D world. Which is why,
well, and we switched from D&D to
Mutants and Masterminds. Mm-hmm. And that was just going to be a break until we got back to the next campaign, but it ended up kind of just being the next thing that we did.
Yep.
I'm very excited to see what's next for the group in Aneria.
I wanted to say, yes, Bosco, please post all of your drawings and stuff. I really love it. I still love the Bolt one.
Yeah.
And I love seeing all the ones you've come up with.
Although your dice has been ruined by Scott at this point, I'm sorry to say.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I
broke your dice.
Yeah, it is not rolling nearly as well as
as it did for you.
As it did for you. But that's not your fault. That's not the dice's fault.
I have to put it in jail occasionally.
It's those cursed hands that are great at painting, terrible at rolling.
I'm only good at rolling when I'm playing as a DM. Then I'm like, oh yeah, that's a 8th crit in this single fight. Holy crap,
Yeah.
And it might just be a law of averages. I'm rolling so much,
Yep.
type of a deal. But it feels like,
Actually, so the roll that you did last night that you failed with Bosco's dice, I think was one that I wanted you to fail anyway.
So the dice were like...
So the dice were like,
yes.
Yeah, we'll help the story
They're
along.
like, Cory,
so.
Cory?
I got you.
I got you, boo.
Appreciate it. Party dropped everything to save Bungo Ironclaw, the Bearfolk barbarian that he played at one point.
Yeah.
And then ran as an NPC companion when he DM'd.
Nice.
It got kidnapped, and they dropped everything to save him in a 10-session long rescue arc. Yeah, it's true. Scott does not believe in the heart of the dice. He doesn't spend.
I only believe in the heart of the cards.
Yeah, that was part of the joke. I just didn't read that part.
Oh.
But you don't spend 5 minutes in an inner monologue before you make any move on your character. Not that I know of, at least. It doesn't look like it from the look on your face.
I'm inner monologuing all the time.
That's true.
You don't know. Everything that comes out of my mouth could have been said 1,000 times before that.
That's typically how I operate.
Which is why it's like, I can't believe he said that after all that time in his head. Oh, tentacle time.
Tentacle time. Wah. Wait, no, that's bad. Oh, I don't. I am very tired today.
Yeah.
And so I will be making poor mouth decisions tonight.
Make better mouth.
Yeah, I will try to make better mouth. What else did we get recently? White Werewolf Tavern did a good drow set recently that we got.
Did we? No, I only have one thing in there. Oh, unless that's in the unsorted.
Yes, that is in the unsorted that I haven't gone
Cory
through.
made an unsorted folder, and it makes my eye twitch every time I see it.
I couldn't be bothered to actually sort them yesterday. So, yes, there is now an unsorted.
Alright, so before I paint this the rest of the way, this tentacle.
Right.
Look at the little, like...
Oh, the little sinew stuff?
Should those be a different color?
Hmm.
Should I go with like kind of a deep red or something?
Yeah, because it kind of looks like it's peeling back.
Too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Because that maybe like that's the claw?
I don't know. Show it to them, get opinions on it.
This thing right here. So the little sinewy things, and then like the
yeah, because it looks like it's like it's usually concealed inside the tentacle.
Yeah.
And it's pulled back, so maybe the top part is black and the inside is like a bone white.
Okay, so maybe the sinew itself is black and the top part's black, but
Could
then
be.
the spike itself is bone colored.
Could be. Fleshy bits. I think adding some flesh tone at the edge of the black is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll mix very well. Brush.
What'd you do?
My expensive brush.
Oh no.
I've got to clean it really good. Pause for.
So what are you cleaning it with?
It's just called the Master's Brush Cleaner and Preserver. It's like a kind of like a specific brush soap in it. If you can see, it gets I get it all the way up into the barrel, and it's supposed to clean it off really good.
Is there a way to paint it to make it constantly look moist?
Yeah. Like the inside part or the whole tentacle? Because I don't think the whole tentacle would be.
I don't think the whole tentacle, but I think like the inside part and maybe like the sinew itself.
Yeah. So what I would do is after I was all done, painting everything, I would go and like put a matte clear lacquer on it, and then I would just use something like. Well, not bad. Where's it? The label's ripped, but it's just called a gloss varnish. Varnish. Yeah, it just makes it glossy. It's the same thing I put over like eyeballs and stuff. You can also use like clear resin.
Yeah.
Clear like 3D resin and UV resin and stuff.
And then you've also used hot glue as saliva.
No, actually.
Is it not?
No,
hot
it's
glue?
called. Oh, I have some right here. Oohoo glue.
Oohoo.
Yeah. And it is a very stringy, sticky glue that I just like pour a big glob down and then I just use a toothpick and like go back and forth between like teeth and stuff, and it makes nasty old saliva.
Very cool. Here's a question for you, Scott. Typically, yes, Bosco, typically, when it comes to, because I know you don't typically play like RPG games too often, but typically when it comes to it, do you have a specific go-to character that you like to create, or do you like to create something new every time? Or I suppose I should ask if you played RPGs a lot more and like played a lot of like different like Pathfinder, Kingmaker, or Baldur's Gate, or there's a couple other ones.
So that kind of RPG.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I kind of just go through the list of like possible classes and just pick something fun that sounds fun. I like trying different things. It's like every time we do a D&D game, I almost always have to do something different. Yeah. Because it's like I don't want to play another one of these classes.
Yeah, I don't want to play another artificer or whatever. At least.
See, and that's funny because I am playing another artificer, but the first one I played was that wasn't really playtest, but we were kind of new to 5e, and
it actually was Unearthed Arcana at that point.
Yeah,
and it was just the artillerist.
Yeah.
Which I'd love to see you play an artillerist again, personally. I don't know what it is, but just you playing as a...
Someone that uses railgun-like stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
It just appeals to me.
Yeah.
Apparently you like the idea of a cosmic sorcerer,
I
though.
do, specifically, a gravity.
Yeah, we saw
Gravity
that
mage.
black hole origin sorcerer that was posted on our Discord. I like it. I'm a little wary about some of the homebrew abilities.
Well, and I didn't
Obviously,
say
like,
we would have to tweak it.
yeah.
You know.
yeah, but I do like the concept
If
of
we
being
go
like
through,
a...
go through play testing.
Mm-hmm. I do like the concept there.
Is it? Are you?
Casey says green sinew.
I might do that. I'm gonna see how this black looks. I can always go back over it and do a different color. I can always glaze it with like a green and make it
Yeah.
greenish.
But yeah, I mean, I do, because, like, I saw that, and my first initial thought was, next campaign, everybody plays a homebrew subclass. And I went, oh, I don't know how well that would go. Like, it would be fun, but I don't know if it would be amazingly fun. Honestly, it would probably have to be hey, if we want to allow a homebrew, one person plays a homebrew subclass so that we don't have a bunch of people that nobody understands the rules for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out who wants to play the subclass the most.
Yeah, I do.
I know you do. But I've been thinking about my other idea even more lately. I know we're playing in Aneria. We're gonna do that probably forever on the channel. But I have been thinking about my my anime-esque campaign that I was talking with you about.
I have that anime 5e.
You do have an
source
anime
book.
5e source book. That's true. But it would basically be creating a... I would probably create a separate set of stats for the children side of the characters. Not the children, but the college student.
Context.
Yeah, sorry, I probably should. I was watching Dallin's Sword Art Online review, and I really do love the concept of like a VR world or some sort of like split storyline where the players are existing, or where the main characters are existing in the normal world, and then they either go into a virtual world or there is some sort of like crossover or like almost like maybe like Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit, if you think about it that way too, because you have the main characters but they also like they don't fight themselves, they use games to do it, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how cool that would be to have that as a D&D game or as a RPG game for my players to go through, where they make
not an isekai, right?
Not an isekai, no. It would be your character is a... I think I'd do college students just to make it, you know, because I don't like putting...
Yeah, I don't want to play a high schooler.
Yeah, I don't like putting high schoolers through one.
Although we played...
Actually, yeah, we did have fun with, what's it called? Daredale.
Daredale, yeah. Which I definitely want to get back to.
Same. So yeah, high schoolers would be okay. But then like you're either playing in a game and the stakes are high for your characters, but they aren't necessarily like world-ending threats or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so you have your character in game is like a normal D&D character with normal D&D stats and stuff in sort of a game world environment. And then I would come up with like my own personal stat list for characters and be like, okay, this is going to be more simplified as a game mechanic because we're not going to be spending all of our time out in the real world, but here's also this, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. So, actually homebrewed a 3.5 Yu-Gi-Oh themed game for my son a few years back. How did it go? I'm very interested to see how that went. Because that's Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely a different monster altogether. No pun intended, but apparently it did intend it subconsciously. Where it's not just like you can't just do a D&D fight typically for Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, you could have it be like some new version of Duel Monsters where it's like almost like a battle tactics game, which would be fine. And that was the main idea, would be like a sort of like a battle tactics but like a VR battle tactics or something like that that gets played across like the world, like out in the schoolyard, or you get trapped in a dark alley by some gangsters and they fight you with
we gotta have
monsters.
we gotta have a tournament arc.
Yeah, oh, of course you have a tournament arc.
Gotta have a tournament arc, you know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've been thinking about it as maybe just like a short campaign. I don't know. Maybe we do it as a bonus campaign if we ever do any sort of like Patreon stuff or
that
team
would be
channel
something
stuff.
Something good. That.
Yeah.
We just need to get get everyone to be able to have some extra time to play.
How's that black looking?
Pretty good.
On the sinew, I mean.
It's kind of like, it's very venomy.
Oh yeah, that is very venomy.
Your venomy, your frenemy.
I think we could do green eyes though.
Maybe I'll do the bone color, and then maybe I'll do like some kind of like fluorescent, poisonous like green,
tip,
or
almost like an acidic green tip or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. I love that a whole lot.
If I have some time, maybe I'll even go in and like put some like resin drips running off of it or something.
That'd be
It
cool.
looks like it's oozing something.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely have like a few ideas for short campaigns that I'd love to do, and but they would have to be bonus content on top of doing the regular Tales of Aneria stuff. Because
well, and I think that's a good like Patreon thing that we've always talked about. Like, you know, if we can get X amount of subscribers each month, or you know, hit some goals, some thresholds, or something like that, we can do extra campaigns or whatever. But yeah, the problem is it's just everyone's busy. Everyone's got, you know, kids and family life and stuff, and it's like, you know, getting everyone to have some extra time, it needs to be kind of worth their while, you know.
Yeah.
Whether
I'd also, like I said, I'd also love to play a Monster of the Week short campaign, because I had a lot of fun with that system too. Bosco wants to know if you could add a purplish sheen to give some dimension to the black.
So actually, what I was planning on doing, and this is going to be kind of a...
In case he approves of the acid tips.
Yeah. What I was planning on doing was actually
like
doing
some new hairstyle. Give me them acid tips.
The 90s called. They want their acid tips back. Sorry, the 1900s called.
And their bleach wash jeans.
What I was planning on doing actually was doing
or frosted wash.
A couple different layers of gray dry brush.
Ooh, some
highlighting.
gray. Okay.
Yeah. To give us a little bit of...
Yeah. I think adding a little bit of purple somewhere, if we could, might give it a little bit more of that Displacer Beast feel. But
I mean, I was looking at the concept art, the whatever, and there's a little bit of purple, and I think that's just because it looks better in art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the purple does as the base tone. But there's a lot of others official art that's just like, it's just black. You know.
Yeah, Bosco, I know this is like first world problems. I hope you do get to find a group someday, and us having multiple game options.
Hey, if we get a Patreon and you donate enough, we can do
an online game.
Online game stuff.
It would be him and Anthony.
I haven't seen Anthony in a while.
Yeah, I hope he's doing well. And Tanakar's not on tonight, as far as I can tell.
Oh yeah.
He hasn't been talking. So he's probably busy working on his house.
Oh yeah. Well, we've also had some odd streaming stuff lately.
That's true. We haven't been consistent with it, so it's very hard to. Yep, life gets in the way.
Life finds a way to fuck things up. Yeah.
We're deep enough in it at this point.
Oh yeah, it's like the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, just not excessive swearing after that. Yeah. But yeah, if you are here for the first time and you normally don't say hi, say hi. I want to see you. I want to see you there.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to hang out.
Yep.
You know, this isn't just watch someone paint while they ramble.
As you can clearly see, you guys drive half the conversation. So because I'm too tired to worry about it myself.
I don't want to do the work for it. Yeah.
Don't do patrons usually, but I've told my fiance that if y'all did something like that, I would find a way to be a top tier patron. We do appreciate it. We don't have a very big community, but we have a very good community.
Yeah.
I love every single member of our community. Y'all are great.
Yeah, we haven't really had anyone like that causes issues or anything like that too, and I really appreciate that about this group.
Yep, we haven't gotten big enough to get issues yet. Well,
eventually.
So speaking of issues, because we do have one issue.
What?
And it's my issue about not getting Bolt's pronouns correct. And I want to tell this story because you attached a sticky note, not a sticky note, but a laminated piece of paper to my DM screen on the inside, right near where you sit during game night, that says Bolt equals they, them. In order to try and help me get the pronouns correct, just because I struggle so hard because... it's usually you that I'm talking to and not Bolt, right? So it mixes it up in my brain, and it has not helped. It has not helped at all. Last night it was the first night that we ran with it, and half the time you were just tapping the sign and I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, you make it sound like that's all I do, but
no.
I just reach over and be like tap tap tap. Oh,
and then
right.
I go,
They,
them, they,
whatever.
them. Right, sure.
Well, because you'd have to describe, stuff that was happening to Bolt, and you'd be like, oh, you see the stuff, do X, Y, Z to him, and I'm like, them.
I was like, yeah.
Right, them.
Maybe one day I'll get it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Love the nerdy talk of the group today. Yeah, absolutely. Being able to spitball homebrew back and forth was really cool. I don't know if you saw they were coming up with more cosmic versions of other characters.
Did you see that I...
did you contribute to that?
I made the meteoric
Scott
barbarian.
is we did make the don't make me tap the sign
joke. Yes, we did. Don't make me tap the sign.
Yeah, the meteoric barbarian was pretty good.
And I'm like, how would that work? That would be pretty cool. Because, barbarians don't really participate in the fights that much anyway. I mean, they do, but,
No, that's the only
pretty
place.
much all they do.
Yeah, that's the only place that they participate, let's be fair. Which is a huge problem in D&D, in my opinion. Is the barbarian class is very locked into one aesthetic. And that's it. Like, there are plenty of people out there who can try and make a unique barbarian. Some have succeeded.
I think Christian is doing a really good job.
Yeah, Heck is a pretty good barbarian, and he does temper his rages to like when he needs them, rather than just like at the beginning of every combat, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool to be like, oh no, my friends are in danger, I need to use this now, kind of thing.
Yeah, which is kind of smart because in the past, after you're done with the rage, you used to suffer a level of exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
And they took that away, but I feel like it fits the class more to have it. Where it's like, yeah, you get all this crazy power, but there's a cost.
When there's a cost, yeah.
Yes, you do the most damage out of everyone in the group, but there's a cost.
And actually, when I was first playing, or when I was first reading up on the 3.5 rules, I was going through a few different options of like what I wanted to play as a character, and specifically, I was playing and building off of not only the 3.5 but the Warcraft 3 books that were 3.5 compatible. They were like a source book for it that had like prestige classes and whatnot.
I missed a whole leg.
But Barbarian actually rapidly became like one of my go-to want to play classes.
Yeah.
Specifically because I loved the idea of like the exhausting rage and being like uber powerful for a little bit and then nearly collapsing, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Really think pulling on a shuttle on stride spell inspiration for the meteor barb would fit best mechanically. Oh yeah, doing like a flaming trail behind you as you rush forward, kind of thing. There is a character in my superhero books that basically has...
And superhero RPG that we ran.
Yeah, and the superhero RPG that we ran. That basically has hyper acceleration powers. Not like super speed, but like he flies around and slams into stuff like a meteor.
Yeah, he can't just normally fly.
Yeah.
He has to fling himself in directions.
Yep.
Which is...
Although that is kind of changing because he can hover
he
like
can hover now.
yeah, like in
Maybe
the
it's just
course of the
maybe
book,
it's just a bunch of micro.
thrusts back and forth. Yeah, he's constantly
Maybe he
thrusting.
can't just hover. Maybe, but he can slowly like shift.
Yeah,
Around.
yeah, like he's
Kinda
constantly like circling, orbiting.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I haven't written that in a while. It's been 2 weeks and I haven't written.
Yeah,
my
everyone
200
needs to
words.
shame Cory
Please.
into keeping up with his goal for the year.
Yeah, I was supposed to write 200 words a day and I haven't in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I owe myself 1,400 words.
2,800 words.
Are we sure on that? Yes, 2,800 words. Which is okay. To be fair, the last time I did write, I wrote 4,500 words instead of 200 words.
You don't get count.
I know.
Do ahead.
I know. You don't. That doesn't count. But to be fair, I have been writing a lot more than anticipated, so
Sure.
It's been good. Clerics and monks were my 5 or 3.5 go-to. Bungo was the first barbarian ever. If I ever get a chance to play 5e, I want to revive him as a bear totem, of course. Yeah. Level 5 and then Rune Knight for the rest. Nice. I do like it. I like a good Rune Knight. I think they're really good.
Yeah, I was tempted to actually cross-class Bolt into Rune Knight.
You did.
Oh, well, I just did the fighter. I did the
Fighter Rune Knight.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, see, yeah, I was tempted to, and then I did it.
And then you did. Yeah, that's how you grow big.
Oh, okay.
That's your embiggen is because of Rune Knight.
I mean, sometimes I just don't know where my stuff comes from, and I just do it anyway.
Oh my gosh. Do I need to start tracking your shit?
Nope. No, don't do that.
Yeah, no. But going back to that RPG question, I typically like to do a playthrough on a familiar character first.
You play familiars only?
Yes, I only play familiars. But I like to pick like a...
Have something to talk about.
Okay.
After you're done.
I like to pick like a current or a past D&D character. Like when I played Kingmaker, I played Turgon. I did a version of Turgon just to play through. Just because it's a nice little shorthand for me to like put myself in the character's shoes.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to create the character and then be like, how would they respond to certain situations? Blah blah blah. It's automatically input for me. So when Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, I don't know if I'll play Turgon. I can't play Audien, obviously. That's can't do well folk, but maybe I can do if they have Triton, maybe I can do a Triton and or a Water Genasi or something. Hey, Brian, no worries on the tardiness. Welcome. Happy to have you here.
You owe us 2 custom subclasses.
Yes.
Go.
Get started.
Start working on them.
I want one that's Kobold themed, and I want one that's Ooze themed. Ooze. When we were at Wendover over the weekend, last weekend, we were playing a slot machine that was like the power of Zeus, right? Because you know they like their Greek god themes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
which is weird because I don't really. The Greek doesn't really go money stuff to me.
No, but it like decadence and opulence, you know, is kind of a Greek god thing in my eyes. But if you got a high enough like win, as it was kind of like racking up the money, like it likes to do, you know, all of a sudden they would just the word Zeus would come across the screen very slow, and it would just say, and then you could just hear Zeus. And I always imagined him like sideways flying with his arms up, like just really slowly, like Zeus. It was fun.
Why not Zeus?
Why not Zeus? What did you want to talk about?
So you said I was talking about familiars. Let's see, the Magnificent Companions one or whatever.
Oh, from
Cast and Play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did they're having a Kickstarter where they do all their it's all the like familiars like owls, dogs, cats. You know, there's ferrets and snakes, and then they all have like adventuring gear. which is awesome. The hats, and they carry a little sword, and they have like a backpack, and
So you said there's a snake.
I think so. Yes.
Okay, because I want that snake.
Snake.
I need that snake
You
for
need
my
it?
yep
For
for
the
my
in the
for my-
Lulu.
for Lulu. Yep. I've got one that's neither. Homebrewed it. Force/with the player after lengthy negotiation over setting fit and campaign tone. All right, cool.
That's way too much black.
Circle of the Ooze Druid, Primordial Muck, and celebrate the death portion of the cycle already on my list.
I just picked up a whole set of ooze stuff actually.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did. Very nice.
Yeah, from Dragon Traverse Lodge. It's the Ooze King. Army's the Ooze King. And it's got that little ooze dude. Little ooze adventure.
the little
like,
ooze adventure
got
with the
a
backpack.
and sword. Yeah.
Which needs to be one that we print off and paint. Actually, oozes you typically like to do in like
I like
clear
to do it
resin.
in clear, but
Yeah.
but we can paint like the backpack and sword.
Yep. All right, so you're mixing up a paint right now.
I am trying
Trying to make like a gray for the
to make
dry
like
brush.
a kind of a purpley,
Okay.
because I was thinking about like a purpley for the dry brush,
Okay.
and it's kind of working. Like
Yeah.
kind of hard to see,
Kind of hard to see here, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll look good.
but
It did look a little purple at least at one point.
yeah, like I might just add a little more purple to it, because I was thinking about doing it, because instead of doing gray, I could do purple, and then I could get that purple
Mhm.
that Bosco was talking about.
You got your energy right. Your 5 o'clock energy.
No, I'm exhausted. No.
How do I turn on your thing? There. Okay. I'm gonna need. Hang on a second. All right, sorry about that. I needed him to give me a password.
Passwords, yeah. Okay, let's try that as a dry brush.
Okay, cool. Then it's time to start thinking about the saddle, or are you just gonna do leather?
I was just gonna do like a leather
Okay.
color, yeah. Oh my God.
Caffeine, you can sleep when you're dead. Yep, exactly. After reading about the proposed Druid update for the new edition, I'm more convinced than ever that Jeremy Crawford is a room service guy. Rangers and now Druids too. I've heard bad things about the Druid.
Room service?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Brian, but basically I think it's just he's just trying to cater to the lowest common denominator. You know, like like you were saying when I told you about the fact that they were limiting it, doing like a
I said,
homogenization.
they're homogenizing
Yeah,
everything and
mhm.
making it
Yeah.
stupid easy, and you can play any class you want and be exactly the same, and like, to me that's
Yeah.
boring.
That's one thing that I've been very happy about with the OGL is I've kind of stopped worrying about what D&D Next is going to be.
Yeah.
Because as far as it goes, I'm probably not going to switch systems unless it comes out and everybody's like, this is so amazing, and we're all switching over. I know that sounds like I'm just a follower, but to be fair, like, I kind of am.
Well, I mean, we sit in a weird area of the space too. We have a YouTube channel,
Well,
and
it wouldn't load in time, so you lost your energy. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh well.
Yeah. We live in a weird space.
We live in a weird space where we have a YouTube channel, and unfortunately, certain things get popular, and you know, obviously, you don't have to follow the trend, but you know, we want to be successful, and we want to get more and more people involved, and you know. So.
My theory is that Druids got popular as folks dipped into it with their fighters because Rangers don't work. The outdoorsy types who eat bugs and berries aren't faring well. Rangers are solid if you build them right, though. This is Bosco. Adds Bosco. Yeah, I think I just kind of feel like they're trying to make it simpler for Druids, right? I guarantee you that's their goal. The problem is that that's not what people want with a Druid. Right, because what people want with a Druid is they want to be able to have a list of different monster stat blocks that they can transform into.
Oh, that was the one thing that you said that I was like, ugh, is they couldn't do small creatures
Yeah.
until later levels.
Once again, I forgot about the Drake Warden until just now. Oh my gosh. Characters I would play next. Add it to the list. It's like number 4. Because I kind of think that... So I have I have 3 different characters in mind, so it is number 4. For, like, my next character if anything bad happens to Audian or if his story concludes and we need to bring somebody else in. One of them is an elf forest warrior, because I've never done, like, a forest warden type before, in a game before.
Yeah.
The second is the one that I sent you, which is, like, the Warforged with the arm blades that I think would be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
The Jade Sentinel. Mm-hmm. And then the third one is my sorceress character, which I won't get too much into because I do want to bust her out somewhere on one of these like games that we play on a channel sometime. So she's probably going to be the one that I pick. But and now I can add a Drake Warden to the list again until I forget about it again.
Again.
Yep. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your tablet. It's just stuck on loading.
You have to kill it and reopen it.
Yeah, well, let me kill it, though. But whatever. It doesn't matter.
Swipe up.
Is Bosco Brian or did Cory say the wrong person? It's Bosco. Brian and Bosco are the same person. I've never seen them in the room together at the same time. No, I just combined their stuff because I was just reading it through.
Brian Osco.
Yep. But sorry, guys. You are now one person.
Yep.
Enjoy your life together.
Mm-hmm.
We ship you.
Have fun.
Perfect. Cobalt Drake Warden. Nice. Yeah, I do love that. Again, it's the Warden that always slips my mind. Or not Warden. Ranger.
Ranger or Druid? Drake Warden is Ranger, right?
Yeah, Drake Warden is Ranger. It's a dragon ranger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is weird that it slips your mind then.
Uh-huh.
Mr.
You
Dragon
think
here.
Technically it's a drake, it's not a dragon, that's why it slips my mind. But eventually you do get it large enough and with wings to be able to ride it.
Nice.
Or at least potentially ride it. Let's be fair. Half the time, if you're a ranger, you're getting your companion, and you are being like, "When can I ride this companion?"
Yeah.
That was absolutely like. I kind of wish they would do that in WoW. Like your hunter could have like a mount as your companion, your hunter companion, so that
So
when
like
you
you
mount
could like
up.
hop off your mount and then sick it.
Yep.
Get him.
There was a transporter accident, and Brian and I fused together. Yep, and we're gonna have to separate you, even though you as one person don't want to be separated.
Yep.
Because we can't stand you. That was the only reason that Janeway did that. Was because they couldn't stand two Vicks as one.
I don't know if it's the only reason, but yeah,
well,
it's one of those reasons where it's like, really?
Well, there wasn't any other.
No,
there wasn't any good reason for it happening, right?
I don't think we need to get into the Tuvix debate here.
No, I think we do. We have an hour to fill, and I don't have anything else to talk about.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to remember, like, if there was any specific reason that they were like, "Hey, we need you back as Tuvok," and
no, it was. I think it was literally the rest of the crew was starting to get annoyed.
Neelix, that was the other character. I almost said Tuvok and Vulpix.
So I saw a meme where it was they were going to separate them.
Uh-huh.
And they beam the plant out into space and then Neelix right after. And so it just comes back and it's just Tuvix and I'm like, yep, we saved you.
Tuvok.
Tuvok,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah, it's a really good moment when he's like, I'm a person, like, I'm my own person now, blah, blah, blah. And the crew is, like, ignoring him.
They're all, like, snubbing him.
Uh-huh. Like, it's a really great moment. It's just undercut by the fact that they're just being dicks about it, because they're just annoyed with Tuvix as he is. But there's also a little bit of a...
So we got a little purpleness in there.
Yeah, that actually does make it look pretty good.
I'm going to go a little lighter, but...
Just another layer lighter.
Yeah.
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 Hey, welcome, Teely. Finally made it to a part of life again. You were our grand prize winner, right? Hansen? Teely Hansen?
Right.
Or did you just win one of our figures? Because I don't know if we've ever heard that the grand prize arrived.
Well, the shipping said it arrived.
Okay. I would want to hear. Nope, you're not. Oh, not the grand prize winner. You should have been. No, I'm just kidding.
We're all winners here.
We're all winners. Yeah, I just wanted to know how, like, I want to hear from the grand prize winner and be like,
whether
hey,
or not they liked it.
did everything arrive unbroken? That would be my big concern.
Oh, yeah, because it was stuck in customs for like a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they go through and open everything? And then, because I had it very specifically packed in there in the little, like, carrying box that I put it in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm worried that they opened it and, like, screwed it all up.
Missed the contest altogether. Okay.
Well, I'm sure there will be another one.
Yeah.
Because it actually wasn't too bad to ship overseas. So, everyone was worried about it, and I was worried about it too. And then when I actually got to the post office to do the actual shipping, I was like, oh, this is actually easy. Yeah, it's a bitch of paperwork, you know? You gotta fill out every little thing and claim it on the customs form.
Yeah.
I should actually I'll email the grand prize winner and see if they got the thing.
Yeah, just wanted to know.
Yeah.
I think everybody else has theirs at this point too.
Yep, everyone else got theirs. Most of them posted that they got it.
Yep.
So
yeah, Tuvix is a very hard moral quandary because the other side of that coin is neither Tuvok or Neelix would have chosen to homogenize.
Yeah.
Right? That's the other thing. And like they're like, we have a guaranteed way to bring two people back, but we sacrifice one person that shouldn't be here in the first place. Like I get the other side of the coin, but it's also like I don't know. It's very much a difficult debate, right?
And that's the point of the episode, right? Is to bring that up and be like, ooh, this was a tough one, you know.
Yep. Making the hard choices in the Delta Quadrant.
Well, and that was the other
deleting
argument.
the wife.
That was the other argument too, and they're like, we just lost 2 crew and only gained 1.
Yeah.
You know. Where. You know.
I mean, but Neelix didn't really do much. Actually, you know what? He did a lot.
No, he did.
Yep. He gets a shit rap.
He does.
But Neelix was very important on that show as a morale officer and as the cook specifically, and he was also very he was a good guide. Yeah. At least while they were in his portion.
Before they got to the Necrot Expanse.
Yeah. Voyager is that's what makes Voyager a good Star Trek series. Actually, is a lot of the moral quandary episodes like that, where there's a lot of stuff that happens that you're like.
Yeah, Janeway has to do a lot of
gray area stuff
that other captains would never have to deal with, you know, because she doesn't have any support out there.
She's following the #1 rule, which we learned about when outside of Federation territory.
Protect your crew.
Yep, the lives of your crew and the safety of your ship is #1 priority.
Yep. And you know what? Maybe that rule exists now because of Janeway.
Oh, that could be like a Janeway protocol, yeah.
The Janeway protocol is go to that nebula, we need coffee.
I thought it was deleting the wife.
That's Janeway protocol 2.
Ah, right.
Delete the wife.
My favorite Trek character ever, Bosco says. He based a lot of Bosco's character off Neelix.
Neelix?
Yep.
Nice. The guy that plays him did a great job. And he's also, he's a Ferengi in
Enterprise.
And he does a really good job there, too.
He's also a washed-up astronaut in Fifth Avenue, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty good in that. Welcome to a D&D stream where we talk about Star Trek, pretty much exclusively.
Yep. There's nothing else in our brains.
No brain, just Star Trek.
No brain, just Trek.
Yep. What we just we've been watching Picard, the season 3.
Yeah.
The second episode just came out.
Enjoying it.
Very good, actually.
Much better than the second season.
So the second season had a really good couple of first episodes, like you said.
True.
It's just it kind of I hope that this one doesn't do the same thing where it kind of stagnates. The only issue that I have is they're doing my man Wesley a bit dirty by acting like this new character is some big surprise.
So there was a thing where they were all together in an interview, and Jonathan Frakes was like, "Let's have the whole cast of Picard season 3 stand up and give a bow." And so they all stand up, and he turns to Will Wheaton and says, "Will, you're part of our crew. Stand up too." So there's a lot of speculation of like,
is he going to be
in
there,
it?
or
does he come in and?
Or is it like you belong to the crew? Like even if you didn't get to be in this season,
it was a good respect thing regardless.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Wesley rolled a natural one as usual. No, okay. Again, Wesley gets a bad rap because he's the kid character on a 90s show, right?
Yeah.
But he's really freaking smart, and he's actually a good character. He's just a teenager at the same time, right?
Yeah, and they wrote him pretty bad, in my opinion.
And Will Wheaton's a damn treasure.
Will Wheaton is oh my gosh, he's such a good guy, and he's been so open lately about his like mental health struggles and stuff in the past and recent, and
and specifically like a lot of what being a childhood actor did to him and everything,
and meeting some of his like Star Trek heroes and having those Star Trek heroes stomp all over him. I guess you can guess who.
Yep.
You know, kind of like put him down a path of like, oh shit. And this was when he was in his 20s. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
When they should have been, when that person, you know, or those people should have been like, hey, kid, welcome to the family, welcome to the team, here's some advice, you know,
so
we'll help you out. Because he even said, like, he's like, my space mom has been a better mom than my real mom.
Yeah.
You know, and talking about Beverly.
Yeah, Gates.
Yeah.
Did you know she did choreography for The Labyrinth? She was like their director of choreography.
That's cool though.
Yeah, for like all of like the puppeteer dances and everything like that. It's super awesome, and just a little fun fact that I love. But yeah, I think that back when, and we're specifically talking about the original Star Trek crew that were a bunch of assholes.
A specific person.
Shatner.
Yeah.
You can say it. He's not
I
watching
know, I'm not like scared to say it. I'm just saying like, come on.
Yeah, everybody knows.
You don't know. You do now.
Yeah, it is absolutely Shatner. But like,
I mean, he's got Shat in his name. So.
Leonard Nimoy was the same way. Not an asshole, but they all wanted to like separate themselves from Star Trek because they belonged to the first series, which was campy and seen as like almost like not serious television at the time, right? Yeah. And all of them wanted to break away from that and
not realizing that would be their primary claim to fame.
Exactly. And it wasn't like the Next Generation had it much different. Oh yeah, let's see the paint cam. Oh my gosh, that does look really good.
Got that added a little purple.
Yep, it definitely there's that blends in really well and kind of adds a little pop to the figure, which is great.
I can go a tad lighter.
No, I think that's good. I think
okay.
Yeah.
All right, now I'll start working on the details.
Yep. I think like once you got to the Next Generation crew, Star Trek got to the point where it had a dedicated fan group, and it wasn't just the typical like, oh, we love you like rock stars, you know.
Yeah.
It was we're a bunch of people who feel like we belong in a home because of you guys. Like we belong to a family because of you.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are, you know, kind of socially awkward, you know, me included, where Star Trek was, you know, like you said, it was your kind of your safe haven, your safe space.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yep, that's where like the geek thrived, right? Because like every week they were saved by science and critical thinking instead of like just brawn and whatnot. And that was Next Generation specifically rather than original series, which Brian points out the production on the original were roughly on par with Dark Shadows. Yes.
Dark Shadows.
Not the Johnny Depp movie Dark Shadows, but the original vampire soap opera that it's based off of. It's literally like a supernatural soap opera from like the 70s.
I don't know either of those things, so...
You don't remember the Dark Shadows Johnny Depp?
I do not.
Did we never watch that?
No, I don't think
Oh
so.
my gosh, maybe I have to add that to the list. I mean, they do a lot with. It's got Chloe Grace Moretz in it too. She's one of the characters. There's his look. No, you don't remember this? Oh my gosh, I'm adding it to the list. It's a bad movie, but you should watch it anyway. It's campy. I think he's got worse as he got older. Yeah, he tried to like jump back on board, but he also very much doesn't like to talk about it.
Who, Shatner?
Shatner.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that he went to space with Jeff Bezos doesn't really inspire confidence.
I felt really bad. Did you see after the fact when Bezos was doing kind of like a post-flight interview?
Oh yeah, and he was
trying to talk about how he felt about the whole
Uh-huh.
thing, and it wasn't like he was trying to be like very humble about it and just like
very
like,
deep and
and
yeah.
I honestly feel like it was a kind of a mental change for him a little bit.
Yeah.
And Bezos just like ignored him and then walked away and started doing something else, and it was like, oh, poor guy. Like,
typical.
like you're an asshole, but also
At least you're not Bezos.
Yeah. Yeah.
George Takei is very funny in real life. I loved following him on Facebook when he was when I was on Facebook, not when he was on Facebook.
He's still on Facebook.
He's still on Facebook. I'm just not anymore. Yeah, it was a daytime serial, like a soap opera. Small theater company, maybe 7 actors. One would die Monday, be back playing a different character Tuesday. I love that kind of stuff. Aeon Flux kind of had something like that. It wasn't like a playing different characters, but it was, like the character would die at the end of every. Was it Aeon Flux or Ultraviolet?
Those are both movies.
There's a cartoon version of one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, where she dies at the end of each episode.
South Park.
South Park. It's Kenny. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of Kenny. Princess Kenny. But that's what American Horror Story tried to do. They tried to capture a little bit of that same magic with the
stuff.
I mean, they did it in a much better way where it wasn't just like, okay, we're going to introduce your actor as a different character then, and everybody's just going to have to roll with it. But it was like each season you're playing a different character. Mm-hmm. Or actually, in the later seasons, they did kind of cross over some characters in different seasons that you got to see like certain characters from previous anthology seasons mingling with other ones.
Huh.
Could have just jettisoned Shatner and Bezos, and that would have been considered an act of charity. Right? You could write Amazon's taxes off for the next 10 years if they just got rid of Bezos that way.
Yeah, when he first went up, I was like, oh, if it explodes, I'm just gonna laugh.
Mm-hmm. But no, the penis rocket survived.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway, back to Star Trek. Because I wasn't finished with my point yet, right? Mm-hmm. And there are a few actors in Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, that have kind of tried to distance themselves from it.
Yeah.
But usually those are ones that, like, kind of got the shaft. Like Chakotay, right?
Yeah.
I don't see him talk very much about Star Trek anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see Robert doing much at all with it. So.
But like Tom and Harry have their own podcast talking about Star Trek all the time, which is great. Yeah, which is I think is awesome. But then like but after Voyager, then the fan base turned to you're ruining our franchise, and that was kind of the start of a downfall of Star Trek, in my opinion. Where it was. The Enterprise crew didn't get a lot of love.
Yeah, fans are the worst thing to happen to Star Trek.
It's true. And then they decided, hey, let's go ahead and bring on a bunch of big name actors to play the original cast because they'll like playing the original cast forever and won't have any complaints about it. Mm-hmm. And that didn't work out for them.
There's still a 4th one in the works.
That's true, but I mean, like. I don't really see those actors talking about it as more than just like it's a movie role, right?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't this was like a good chunk of my life that I played.
Part of it is just because those are the those films are not like universally loved, by Star Trek fans.
True. Very true. Not to mention like every single one of those actors has pretty much gone on to do other stuff that's more famous. So that's usually what gets talked about, right? Mm-hmm. Zoe Saldana obviously is Marvel.
Chris Pine's been in DC.
Yeah, Chris Pine's been in DC, and he's going to be in the D&D movie coming out this next month, which I'm very excited for.
I'm excited too.
They had a clip in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a good reminder, by the way. I need to remind me. I gotta buy that life-size mimic.
Oh yeah, the life-size mimic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look really good. But they had a clip in the Super Bowl where the tiefling druid character was fighting, and she had an a wristband slingshot that she was firing from, and that was her like sling weapon that she was using.
Really?
And I was like,
That's
ooh,
clever.
that's really cool. I like that. Yeah, I like Chakotay too. I thought that
Chakotay.
I thought they could have done a little bit better with his character. Obviously,
and
Voyager had a lot of issues like that where they were kind of racist and
it
sexist.
was because they hired that guy that said he was a Native American and turned out to not be Native American at all. And they found out after.
Not Chakotay, but like a consultant.
A
right?
consultant, yeah. And so the consultant's like, yeah, no, this is all true. And then later on, we find out like, no, the guy lied to the whole production studio and the staff and everything. It was like, yeah.
It's like, do some research, people.
Yeah.
Like, do some independent research. Don't just believe somebody. There isn't a well that won't go dry if you keep going back to it over and over and over again. Exactly. Yeah, that's true. And I think that this new wave of Star Trek has had some good successes and some flops to it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Picard season 1 and 2 were more or less flops. They weren't great, but
there's a rumored 7 of 9 Rafi spinoff.
Ooh, great!
Where they're gonna be on a ship.
That's awesome. I do like 7. I'm glad they included her in Picard.
I was just thinking the other day about when she gets on the Borg cube in the first season and becomes the temporary little queen.
Oh yeah, queen for
her
a little
eyes
bit.
go all black and it's all like we are Borg all at the same time. And I'm like, so cool. And then they had to stop it.
Yeah, well they activate the kill switch basically, right?
Yep.
Yeah. There are some great moments in Picard season 1 and 2. There are some really good character moments and there's some really good back and forth moments. Like spoilers for season 2 of Picard, but Q's whole storyline in that. Minor spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it too much.
He's in the trailer. So.
Yeah, but his whole storyline in season 2 is
pretty good.
It's really good. Yeah. And we do get to see Will Wheaton. That's a spoiler for season 2. You do get to see Will Wheaton in it at the end there.
As Wesley.
As Wesley, yes.
Not as some other random...
No. Not some guy going,
Another Soong.
Another Soong, yeah.
Another Soong, yeah.
How many Soongs are there?
So many. Too many.
The Borg Smorgasborg. Is that Swedish chef as a Borg? Yes, I have seen pictures of that, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that fits.
At least I think so. I'm sure if I type it in,
I'll find
it. Yeah,
just go to one of the AI art generators and...
That is kind of how you would do it. Did you see the picture that Casey shared? The AI art one that was Scarlett Johansson as Jessica Rabbit?
No.
Oh, you need to check it out. It's really good. I like it. I'm glad you got that reference. Yep. I am a Muppet fan. I am a Muppet of a man.
Cory is a man or a Muppet.
Yep, I'm a very manly Muppet.
A man-shaped Muppet.
It's funny because that show, The Muppets, was not a kid show, technically.
Yeah.
It was a family-friendly, all ages comedy hour when it was on the air. Sesame Street was the kids' show version that had Kermit on it every now and then as a recurring character.
Well, I thought that there was wasn't there some of the Sesame Street characters not considered Muppets or something like that?
Yeah, technically Sesame Street is kind of separate, and they're not all Muppets.
They're not half mopped?
Yeah, they're not half mop. Big Bird was in one of the Muppet movies, though, so that was the first Muppet movie. But anyway, the original show was just it was sort of like a Saturday Night Live, but it was just a family-friendly version of it, right?
Yeah.
And so when they came out with the movies for it, the movies were very much a fun little go through, and then they kind of became more kiddie as they went along because that was the audience that was really taking to them.
Yeah.
And
because adults back then didn't understand that you can have fun still, You don't have to act
with
like
cartoon characters
like
and
you
whatnot.
don't like
Yeah.
quote unquote childish things.
Mm-hmm. But I was very disappointed and very annoyed after watching the new Muppet movie with Mom and Sarah and Dad.
Is that the one where they're in the haunted house?
No, that we watched that one on our own. This is the one where they get the Muppets back together to try and save their
Is that the one with
theater.
Jason
Sudeikis? Yeah.
Sudeikis, yeah.
Yep. And it's fun. And a lot of the music is written by Flight of the Conchords, half of it, which is like really great. And it's funny, and it's got the usual cameos in it, and it's great. And they were just not impressed. And if they would have just been like, I didn't much care for it, that would have been fine. But of course, they had to kind of shit on the movie too.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it kind of really sours my mood, because it's like you can not agree that this is a good thing, but don't start actively like tearing apart something that I like, because that's a quick way to an early grave for our friendship.
Yeah.
Not like an early grave for you, because I'm very much nonviolent, but yeah. Oh, Jason Segel, not Sudeikis.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, so I literally went, oh yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound totally right, but Cory knows the Muppets, so I'm just going to trust him.
completely wrong. Yeah, it was Segel. Sorry. Thank you, Casey. Oh, man. But one thing that I do love about the Muppets is that all the actors love cameoing in the Muppets.
Yeah.
Like, there's not an actor alive that I think, or well, I shouldn't say that. Most actors that I regularly enjoy would have no trouble being a cameo on the Muppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, about to dig graves for Muppet haters. Exactly. Yeah, never trust me with actors. That's for sure. I will get them wrong. But yeah, it's not just Muppets, but it's one of those things where it's like, if I like something, I tend to really enjoy it. I don't make it my whole personality, but it does become a part of like the total of me.
Yeah.
Right? And then to have somebody basically be like, "Oh, well, that was very stupid," and then kind of rag on something that you love is.
I agree. As far as like tact goes, you should probably just be like, you know what, I didn't like it, but hey, if you like it, cool. It's not my thing. And then if it comes up again, just be like, no, I'm not gonna watch anymore. Sorry.
Yep, and that's completely fine. Like if I show you something you don't like
but
it.
You know what? I feel like a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
Where they, if they like something and they share it with you, and then you shit on it, it gets upset. And you know what? And I don't blame them. I do the same thing. Like, if I showed people Star Trek and they were like, oh, this is the most, fucking stupid, whatever.
This is so boring. Yeah.
I would just be like, well, you're an intellectual,
void.
Well, words that I can't say on stream.
I mean, you just said the F word, so yeah, keep it tame for the next 30 minutes, please. We don't want to demonetize. I like intellectual void as an insult, actually.
Yeah.
You're an intellectual void. But yeah, I mean, and it is just something that it's like, there's certain YouTube channels and shows and stuff that I don't show you or Casey, my wife, because I know that there's it may not be a guarantee, but I know that there is a 50% chance that you will be like, this is dumb, I don't like this, or I don't care about this, and it will make me go, oh, I feel bad now. And there's nothing wrong with you. And again, it's not a, oh, I hate you now because you hate my thing. It's more of a, I'll be very disappointed that you don't like the thing that I like. And so I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm kind of sad.
Kids,
I made myself feel bad.
Remember, kids, the first step towards failure is trying.
Yep. Because I want to show you Hell of a Boss, but there's a 50% chance you won't like it. It's like an anime, like a 28-minute animated movie on YouTube, or episode on YouTube, fully animated, fully voice acted. They even do songs and stuff, and it's cartoon violence because they're a group of imps that go from hell to Earth to enact revenge upon
I mean,
people.
I will tell you right now, I have watched some pretty dumb stuff over the years and enjoyed it. I mean,
True. Yeah, but it's like it is one of those things where it's like, and yeah, and Hell of a Boss specifically, like, because it's demons in hell, it's also very like, it's very horny, and they even put that in the disclaimer. They're like, hey, this is devil, or these are demons in hell, so things get raunchy. But I love it. I think it's a great series, and they've got some really good animation for being, a small studio. They got like 21 million subscribers though, which is,
I wouldn't say that's very small anymore.
yeah. I hope they do more with Has Been Hotel. I know that's been. I know that's kind of on the back burner for them a little bit now, but Hell of a Boss is still really good. So, but yeah, like I want to show you those, but at the same time, I'm also like, if he doesn't like them, I'm gonna feel weird if he ever comes in the room and sees me watching one and then goes, "Oh, is that show that you showed me one time?" And I just don't want to do that.
Okay, so I just make sure to never comment on it ever.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yep. Unless it's to show interest, don't comment on anything that I ever talk about.
I'm going to.
All the time now.
No, I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna do the whole "Are you winning, son?" But it's gonna be, "Is that hell of a boss?"
Is that are you watching one of your hentais there? This is a let's play.
What the hell's hentai then?
Oh. Yeah, exactly. It'll be an "Are you winning, son?" situation, and I'll have to switch it over to Matt Pat. That's the only other YouTuber that I can think of at the moment, because I was watching a food theory episode today.
There's no other YouTubers.
Yeah, Luna is very cool. She's probably my favorite character on Hell of a Boss. I'll show you who I'm talking about.
Oh, so Bosco likes it.
Yep, of course Bosco does. Come on. Oh, come on, people. So, she's a hellhound. She's she's.
You've actually shown me that, by the way.
Have I shown you the show?
I think so.
I may have shown you the characters.
Yeah, maybe that's.
Yeah.
Nice.
Although I was typing in on Google, I typed in Luna Hell of a Boss, and it gives you the recommendations, and the first one is age.
Oh, yeah.
People lie.
Come on.
And the answer is she's over 18. That I know that from the show. That's not me like looking up that specifically.
That's you dreaming. She's over 18. She better be over
18. Yeah. She better be over 18. Damn it. No. Don't take the red hentai pill, Scott. It's a crazy rabbit hole to go down. Probably a good idea. Just stay away from it.
Who says I'm not at the bottom of that hole? So
that's true.
Giggity.
What's it like in the tentacle pit? But yeah, I think there are a couple other like YouTube series. Like I've been watching Shipwrecked is the name of the channel.
Oh yeah.
They did Headless with.
Yeah, I subscribe to them.
Yeah, I've been watching the Headless episodes, and like these are fun, these are great. I like them, but at the same time, they're not like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing and hilarious. I need to show Scott and Casey because they'll absolutely love it. Because again, it's like a 50-50 chance that they'll think that the acting is kind of poor, or because there are some like it is like an individual
like I said,
crew, right?
I grew up on the internet. I have watched some pretty dumb stuff.
It's true.
That I thought was pretty fucking funny. Salad Fingers, come on.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yep. But yeah, it's one of those things where I definitely like I have some things that these are my guilty pleasure watches over here, but they're not really guilty pleasure. It's more just these are my private watches so that I can maintain something, without.
You gotta have some private stuff too. So.
I have been addicted to tasting history with Max Miller, food nerd and his food history. Interesting. Interesting.
Hungry.
Yes, I am very hungry. No, I'm always hungry. That's just
That's my secret cap.
No, the food theory I was watching today was about, because I'm so far behind. It was about Halloween candy, and it was about how they were trying to figure out why like hot tamales and candy corn were like the top, or like in the top three, and it's because they're the cheapest candy. It's not because like everybody likes them. It's just they're the ones that are purchased the most because it's cheap. Anyone remember old Greg and his Bailey's? Vaguely. That
That's
sounds...
sounding familiar.
Casey says no more F words. You're at your limit. So... I tried. I'm sorry. Family friendly, family friendly. We lost a viewer there.
Oh no.
Yep, sorry. Come back. I don't... I gotta find old Greg. Not here, though. Not there. Not there. New tab.
Such delicate paintwork. Hard to concentrate sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I never watched that. People tried to get me to watch old Greg. It was like people on like a fishing boat. It was like sketch comedy series. You want to get demonetized?
Because this is how we get demonetized.
This is how you get demonetized, yeah.
You want ants? This is how we get ants.
Yeah, like old Greg was definitely in the salad fingers category.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. But I mean, I was, like I said, I was talking to Casey today, and I was like, I'm going to tell my grandkids that I was there helping forge the first memes, you know, like,
Yeah.
that was my claim to fame, is I was there, because I grew up on Homestar Runner.
Magic to me.
Yeah. I grew up on Homestar Runner. I grew up on, Flash animation, Look at My Horse.
Yep. Look,
Magical Trevor.
Oh my god, I sing that all the time. Look at
Yeah.
my horse. My horse is amazing.
Just say Fuzzy Duck over and over really fast. It totally won't get you demonetized.
Yeah, the automatic captions will be like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa. Cannot show. Speaking of shows that we liked growing up, but really weren't that popular, and in fact, a lot of people don't like. Hang on, there's a hair right here. I'm just grabbing it because it's bugging me. Small Soldiers.
Oh yeah.
Like, that is a show, that is a movie that you and I watched and absolutely loved.
Yep. Still
Growing
do.
up.
I watched.
Yep.
I grabbed a good copy of it a while ago, and I actually rewatched it one
Mhm.
night. Just laying in bed, and I was like, I'm bored. I want to watch something, and it was the most recent movie I'd picked up. I was
Like,
okay,
sure. Yeah.
Mine's
Young Kirsten Dunst.
Mine's Gizmo.
Mine's Gizmo. David Cross is always a win, in my opinion. Like, he's always been good. I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, everybody I talk to is typically like, oh yeah, I liked it, it was fun. But it gets a lot of, like, negativity online.
Do you guys...
I am Archer, emissary of the Gorgonites.
Do
Exactly.
you guys miss the days of not having the internet sometimes, where it was like, I go watch stuff because it looked interesting on the TV trailer, and not because, some friends recommended it, or, there's no reviews, there's no... So every social media post of like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, or something,
Yeah, like, I think the reason why I didn't watch Everything Everywhere All at Once for the longest time was because a couple people had been like, oh, I almost walked out of it in the theater.
Yeah.
Those people were Mormon.
They were sorely mistaken.
And I could tell.
Show.
Yeah, like, if you guys haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, I know Casey hasn't. I need to get her to watch it.
It's
but
good.
It is very good. But like a recent example is Quantumania.
Yeah.
All I saw on the weekend before we went and saw it was it has the lowest score on Rotten Tomatoes since Eternals, and that was critic score, or it had the lowest ranking on movie lists or whatever.
Yeah, you look at all the non-critic, all the users,
and it was like 89%.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it when we went and saw it.
I had a lot of fun with it.
I also, it was the first Marvel movie that I hadn't fully, like, immersed myself in every scrap of trailer that I could, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, previously to that, like, the first week lead up, they start, like, really ramping up and adding, like, here's some extra scenes from the movie to get you interested.
Yeah.
That might be fun. And it usually spoils a whole lot more. And so I tried to, like, pull back on watching that. And I unsubscribed to New Rockstars because I was sick and tired of getting spoiled on stuff. And I really, like, I didn't really care about listening to their breakdown content anymore.
Yeah.
If I want to, I'll seek them out.
Breakdown and more, like, how far can we reach for stuff that we,
Yeah. happened with Gilligan's Island. Critics hated it, but regular people loved it. Yeah, I could see that. Gilligan's Island is one of those shows that kind of speaks to the common man a little bit more than it does to critics, for sure. And I'm trying to remember if there was another one.
I think critics, honestly, to be a critic, you probably have to have a pretty cynical life view to be able to pick everything apart. Because I go into movies because I want to have fun. Yeah. I don't go in there because I'm like, I need a cinematic masterpiece every time. It's like I just want to have fun.
Just entertain me,
just
please.
Entertain me for an hour or three, you know.
Yeah. That's why I like Dallin's channel. And if you haven't subscribed to Mr. Rogers Reviews Everything, you should.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he definitely he walks a fine line between like, here's some really good cinematic stuff, but here's some really good fun stuff as well, right? Like he manages to balance that really well.
That's the reason why I love the channel. Everything Great With.
Oh, yeah.
Cinema Wins. Because I love that he goes into all these movies and stuff and can pick everything good about them. Even if it's movies that are, like, universally terrible, he could go in and find, good stuff with it.
Yeah. Yeah. T. Lee says the only critics I like are the Muppet pair. Statler and Waldorf. Yep. Or Waldorf and Statler. I think Waldorf goes first. I think his name comes first, typically.
I don't know.
When they talk about him. And then Bosco says Lilo and Stitch was the same way. Critics hated it, and now it's a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's like one of your top 5 Disney.
It had aliens, so I was like, I'm in. I'm a very easy person to please.
You got technology or aliens? Love it.
Yep.
Like Tomorrowland.
Yes, love Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland gets a lot of hate, but you absolutely love it.
I
you think
love
it's a great movie.
I like the Avatar. I really like Avatar. People hate it, and it's like, oh, okay, I like it.
My favorite piece of Gilligan's Island trivia is that the archetypical girl next door was played by
Archipelago.
Was played by a former Miss Nevada. All right, very nice. I have not seen an episode of Gilligan's Island. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that right now. That was not a show that was in syndication when we were
parents
young.
Didn't watch it. We grew up on MASH.
Yes, we grew up on MASH. That was our go-to.
And also the show MASH.
Nothing but mash and mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Delicious. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of shows out there that definitely are better than critics give them credit for, and they need to be. You just need to watch them and kind of shut off your brain.
Yep.
But then again, there are also shows out there that I'm glad that a critic kind of warned me about a few things, because then I could lower my expectations and be surprised when I go into them.
Like what?
You know what? I can't think of an example.
Yep. Neither, because I generally don't listen to critics. I go on Rotten Tomatoes and I look at the percentage of users and I go, okay, if it's over 50%, it's probably going to be a decent movie.
Yep.
You know? And I'm not saying like it's going to be amazing. It's just going to be fun.
I always talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Shyamalan version, and how it was completely awful, and the people sitting next to Casey and I in the theater were very mad because we were just Mystery Science Theater 3000ing it the entire time because it was terrible. But then we got home from the movie, and an advertisement came on for the movie on TV as we were watching it, and I went, damn, their editing team for these is really good, because I kind of want to go see it again.
Yeah.
Like, because they were showing, like, the fight scenes and everything, and I was like, yeah, there was some, like, fight stuff in there that was really cool. Most of the fight scenes were terrible, but...
Well, so I watched it, and I don't hate it, but it's just, you know. But I've never watched the cartoon very much.
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes at most. So it's like, I didn't have a huge love for the cartoon. Yeah. So I wasn't so like, oh, the cartoon's better and this is terrible and is ruining everything, you know. To me, it was all pretty much a new experience.
Yeah. But it wasn't a very good experience.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Bosco said it's the only movie that he ever asked for a refund on.
We almost, so Immortal City of Bones, remember that one?
Yep, that is the only movie that we've almost walked out on.
Yeah.
And instead, we just did what we always do when we encounter a movie that we hate.
Fun of it.
We just start making fun of it. It makes the movie a little bit better.
And now I kind of want to rewatch it just to see, like,
because they came out with a TV series too.
Oh yeah.
Mortal Instruments, like a Mortal Instruments series, and I think the series actually got a wider praise, but it was like one of those tween dramas, so
Yeah.
typical Riverdale bullcrap. I remain an Alan Alda fan to this day, have all 3 of his books, and subscribe to his podcast. I want to be like him in the unlikely event I ever grow up. That's cool, Brian. I do like that. Alan Alda actually was my favorite. I did like.
He's got such a great voice too.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Hawkeye was really good on that show.
Yeah.
And they like the later seasons. He like they started doing a little bit more like the dramatic episodes,
Yeah.
which at the time, like. I was always talked to, like, I was young, so I didn't care for them, and then Dad didn't like them either, because he liked it as a comedy. He didn't like the times where they got serious. And, like, he always talked about how the ending to MASH was terrible, right?
Yeah.
Because, like a lot of bad stuff happens, and it was like, no, kind of, like, looking back on it, it kind of just shows you the real issues with
war. Yeah.
Right? And all of the consequences for it. So it was kind of ahead of its time in that regard.
Yeah.
Even though, like, technically, like, the wars were going on at that time and there was plenty of protest about them.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where it was very much showing, like, the cost of doing business as far as humans go. And it was not a good cost kind of thing. But I do like me some MASH. Are you a... Oh, I can't even remember the characters' names. So there's the one...
Frank Burns or Winchester.
Ooh, I'm a Winchester fan.
I like Winchester. Frank Burns is pretty good.
Yeah, Frank is pretty good.
He has some pretty good moments.
And then there's Trapper or
BJ.
BJ. Which one do you like better?
I don't know. I think I like BJ Honeycutt more.
You should paint the spikes blue, like an electric blue. Casey, you're crazy.
I think I want to go like this guy he's poison, right? So I think I'm gonna go with the whole poison theme. So I'm gonna do all of his spikes and stuff in with a translucent green or
Sorry, I had to do the toxic thing.
yeah, some toxic.
Yeah. A-Team, anyone? I never watched A-Team.
Yeah,
that was one of the ones.
Again, that was one of those ones that. So we didn't grow up with any kind of like cable TV, and also, when Dad got home from work, it was like Dad took over the TV.
Yep. Cartoons were gone, and then it was whatever he wanted to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, funny enough,
we had
a lot of Simpsons and stuff.
Yeah, like he was okay watching Simpsons. I think that was a family thing though. Like we liked the Simpsons a lot. You and I did.
Yeah.
And so like we demanded Simpsons like
it's
before.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock
Turn Simpsons
Simpsons.
on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we watched Seinfeld.
Yeah, I've seen every episode of Seinfeld.
I've seen
multiple
every
times.
episode of Seinfeld for sure. But then like when you and I got
a TV
in our room, which we shared a room growing up, it was Star Trek.
We shared a room for the whole time we lived there.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was UPN.
Yep, UPN had their Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Stargate was on there too. I don't think you watched that much though.
Not really. I don't think I was interested in it as much as Star Trek. And even then, like, Star Trek was kind of a tangential. Like, I would watch it because you were in the room and I was just playing around.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, Saturday nights, we would watch Voyager. And then at, like, 10, we would switch it over to Channel 7 and watch Red Dwarf and My Hero and some British comedies. We didn't like Blackadder that much. Which I bet you if we watched Blackadder...
I don't remember that one at all.
It's like a medieval fantasy British comedy.
Huh.
Not. I don't even think it's fantasy. It's like medieval kings and whatnot. Like it's about a castle and such. I don't think it was very.
It's probably
fantasy,
like
but...
political comedy, and I bet it would be funnier now.
Yeah.
Or more sad, thinking about the world. Like, oh.
With the whole Joker, Green Goblin, Hulk, She-Hulk coloration. Yeah. Yep. Purple and green. Mm-hmm. That's exactly the coloration.
That's bad guy colors.
Yep. You know it's a bad guy.
Yep. If they're purple and green, bad guy.
Yeah.
So what's everyone doing for the weekends?
Oh yeah.
Cory and I we got our game tomorrow that I'm running.
Very exciting. And then Sunday we're gonna go see Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Also very exciting. And then I'm doing laundry. And I'm also doing I am planning on getting down and writing broad strokes for the rest of the campaign. So,
All right.
yes, because I have like ideas in my head and kind of a vague recollection of where I want to go, but I really want to lock everything down.
Probably a good idea.
Used to have Doctor Who on PBS in the background while we played D&D. That's the shit right there.
Like old school Doctor Who?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if it's the PBS version, it's pre-Tennant.
Oh, that's
or
true.
pre-Eccleston.
2000 and...
That was 2009 that we got
yeah.
the Eccleston one, I think. Yeah.
Best Doctor. And I get a lot of hate for it, but you know what? I agree. I thought Eccleston he's my favorite.
All right. Yeah. He was also the first you were introduced to, which is typically like
But
everybody's favorite Doctor is the first one that they're...
I have watched Matt Smith, and I have watched David Tennant, and I have watched Capaldi, and I just really like Eccleston. I like the way he played it.
John Hurt's my favorite.
Yeah. He does the War Doctor.
Yeah, he's the War Doctor, but
he's only in it for a little bit.
Tennant is my favorite as well. Teely says, food prep for the week, lunch with the in-laws, game on Saturday night. Awesome. Food prep always kind of sucks. That's kind of why we don't do it anymore.
Yeah, but it's like,
but
it is
2
hours of pain, and then you have everything done for the week. As long as you have stuff that you want to eat.
Oh, Casey reminded me that we are doing taxes on Sunday as well. So I got that to look forward to. I'm waiting for the death part of Death and Taxes, but it's not coming quickly enough.
We got Aneria stuff to finish. You can't
That's
die
true.
yet.
Yeah, I can't die until I see Battle World, or not Battle World. Yeah, Battle World. The Avengers movie. Like, I need to know where the MCU is going next before I can die.
I mean, that's what we said about Endgame. So
yep, it's true. And then they threw more at us. They whole thing keeping chugging along.
Worth of Marvel at us.
I work third shift with 2 toddlers. If I don't prep, there's no food. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's definitely motivation enough, right?
Yeah.
We're talking Tom Baker, Peter Davison. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Chicken nuggets.
Get some chicken nuggets. Well, the problem is, like, you can't microwave chicken nuggets and have the kids like chicken nuggets.
Says the person that grew up on microwave chicken nuggets.
We didn't grow up on microwave chicken nuggets.
Yeah, we did. Mom did a lot of the chicken nugget.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was a popcorn chicken. Was what we microwaved a lot of. I loved microwave popcorn chicken growing up.
Now you have air fryers, though.
Yep, it's true. Air fryers are great.
Air fryer is so good.
I sent you another food TikTok one that I thought was really good.
Okay.
And it's like a giant brick of like meat and cheese. And, like somebody took a meatloaf and made it a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. And it looks really good. And it's that...
Cory, meatloaf sandwiches are great.
Meatloaf sandwiches are pretty good. That's one thing that always makes me laugh is you and I are like one of the only people who actually like meatloaf. Everybody else is always like, oh, gross, meatloaf, that's disgusting, until they eat, like, my mom's recipe for meatloaf.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, wow, this is actually pretty good.
That's the same thing. I've gotten a lot of, like, lasagna's okay, and I'm like, oh, no, you haven't tried
you gotta,
mom's lasagna.
Exactly. It's because they added a lot of, like, cheese and stuff to it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheese, the secret ingredient is cheese.
Whole family loves meatloaf. I am so glad, Teely. That's awesome. Meatloaf is, like, one of my favorite foods, actually.
Yep.
Yep,
we had a lot of, like...
because this food is good, I like food. Good.
I think most people like food.
Casey does like meatloaf. Did you like meatloaf before you had my mom's meatloaf, though? That's the question. Because...
Some people just make it with, like... They're just like, here's 2 pounds of meat and a little bread mixed in, and that's it.
There was that one that was, like... They were adding, like, chips, crumbled chips to it and everything. And it's like, no, you gotta have, like, chunked up bread. Mm-hmm. We do white bread, like the white bread chunks in it and everything. Yeah, so good. Yes, okay, you did like... That's not meatloaf.
Call that a meatloaf? This is a meatloaf.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of whenever my mom needs, like, a go-to meal to send to me or something because she wants to be nice. Yeah. It's always, hey, I made you a meatloaf, because it's like, yes, please, give me a good meatloaf. That and chicken roll-ups.
Yeah.
which is something that other people don't experience very often either. But it's basically
Yeah. Shredded chicken,
cream cheese,
some seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Then you roll it, or you wrap it in biscuits.
like a croissant.
Yeah, or
Dough.
What's the brand? Pillsbury.
Pillsbury.
Pillsbury croissant, and then you roll it in
butter.
Stuffing.
Yeah, but you butter it.
Well, yeah, butter it, and then you put the stuffing
and
on
then
it.
you put the stuffing on to help it cling to it, and then you bake them, and they're just like little patties of delicious. Yep. And then you put cream of chicken soup on top because you can't have enough chicken on that.
Yeah, chicken on your chicken.
Yep, chicken on your chicken. It is really good. I would highly recommend it. I don't know what other seasonings are added to it.
I just when I make it, I just use the whatever brand you like. Italian seasoning.
Italian seasoning, yeah. My favorite dish my mom makes is stroganoff. I've never had a good beef stroganoff. So
beef stroganoff, good stuff.
I remember going to.
We never made it. I've always just had it like at a restaurant or like at a frozen meal or something.
I remember going to Disneyland for the first time and having when I was dating Casey, and having gumbo for the first time at the Blue Bayou.
Oh, yeah.
And gumbo was pretty good, but then Cody had which is like my eventual brother-in-law, had a filet mignon there, and we all had like a bite of it, and I annoyed the hell out of Casey's sister because all I was doing was filet mignon puns the entire rest of the time because I thought it was so good. And we were just joking about it, and I would be taking like a filet mignon in the hand is worth two in the bush and doing like idioms like that, but with filet mignon. And it got to the point where she was glaring at me the entire time we were waiting to get on Indiana Jones. And that was the point I kind of went, I think I'll probably stop for now. I lasted about 30 minutes.
Yeah, don't ever cave to people's stares, Corey. Come on.
My mom was the only person I knew who could serve an inedible TV dinner. My paternal grandmother taught me how to cook. That's awesome. I do like our grandmother on my mom's side as well. That was a big like.
She cooked a lot.
She cooked a lot, and she always like cooked on Sunday and everything. And she had that's where mom got a lot of her style of.
Some of it.
Throw some cheese on it, throw some extra cheese and some extra butter in there. Obviously, it is not the best method for eating. Growing up, but it is a delicious method for eating growing up. Method. Yep. But yeah, there are some meals like Grandma used to make some really good funeral potatoes, which for those of you who don't live in Utah is a staple here, and it's basically just like cheesy potatoes.
It's like sour cream and cheese and thin sliced potatoes, and then they put what's the cereal? The cornflakes on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Except for our grandma wouldn't do funeral potatoes like that. She would do like potato chunks. It was almost like a soup, almost with like a cheese on top of it.
My favorite version of it is shredded potatoes.
I know, and that's everybody else's in the family favorite version of it. I'm the only one who likes the
chunks.
The chunks, apparently. Except for maybe Mom, but she just keeps quiet about it.
I think Mom likes all the chunks.
That's
we're
true.
all chunks.
Yeah, we are all chunks. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't know how like popular funeral potatoes are outside of Utah.
Yeah, think of like au gratin potatoes, but with like extra cheese and stuff.
And they're not like thin slice, horizontal. They're not like chip slices, but they're like shredded or in chunks in our case. But yeah, she made a lot of good stuff. She made really good cookies too, like her chocolate chip cookies.
Grandma had famous cookies.
Mm-hmm. Very much like everybody in the neighborhood and a bunch of people outside the neighborhood all knew Grandma's cookies because that was like her go-to. Yep.
She would always make a bunch of them for me to take to whatever work I was at.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just became like, oh, when's your grandma gonna make more cookies?
Yeah. My mom started me on my cooking journey, and while my dad was in prison, my mom had to work 3 different jobs to make ends meet, so meals became my task at home. Now it's my passion. Bosco, hit me with the feels. Right at the end of the stream here, I'm going to go cry. I'm going to go lay down, Try not to cry a lot. But it is 9 o'clock, Scott.
Holy crap! Is it?
Yep. So let's go ahead and get one good look at your progress tonight.
No, we gotta finish. Just a sec.
No,
Almost done. I'm almost done.
But
Okay.
the paint cam's already up. People are looking at nothing. Oh, it is looking really good. I do like those spikes. Yeah, I think adding the green tips will be really cool.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a very, very thin green wash and put a green wash over it. So
Okay.
it tints them like a green color. Probably like
Ooh, yeah, like a
that,
little
like
plague green.
flesh or something else. Right? I've got some really good. I've got this cool this green ink
Yeah.
that I think would be
Ooh, yeah.
kind of neat. But yeah, and then so they kind of poison. Then of course I got to do like the mouth, the teeth, the eyes. I'm gonna do like a yellow on the eyes, and then in the ears, of
Pink.
course, you get pink,
And on the beans too.
I'll probably do some. Yeah, I'll do some pink on the toe beans.
Uh-huh.
And the claws on the here probably won't be poisoned, but I'm thinking like
Yeah.
these ones, and these ones will all be poisoned.
Yep.
And of course saddle, but and then
Well-
I've got the base. But yeah,
You can always leave it for next time we stream, and then finish that up, and then work on the rider too.
yeah, true.
Next time we stream here. Oh yeah, gotta show the rider that will eventually be going on it. Awesome little Knoll friend.
Yes.
Knoll friend.
No friend.
Knoll friend. But thank you everybody for joining us this evening. It was really fun having you all around and getting to chat with you and wax nostalgic, which is my favorite part of the streams, by the way, is waxing nostalgic about different things. And
A nostalgia stream.
don't forget to leave a comment on the video and like it after we post it, just so that
Helps a lot.
yeah, it helps get the word out there and helps other people find us as we're moving on. And don't forget that next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time
Next episode.
is our next episode release, which we get to. It's really fun actually. Although
I don't remember it.
it's
It's been like I said, we edited
well
it so long ago.
that's because something happened to Bolt that would make him
Them.
very unremember
Them.
them. Okay, well, I'm gonna end the stream now. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I am terrible with pronouns, apparently.
Just with this specific one.
Just with this specific one, yeah. But thank you for joining us, and we will see you Wednesday and then next Friday.